Hello, yoga friends. My name is Anne, and you have landed in a short hip opening yoga flow class. Let's start with a few breaths to center ourselves on the mat. Excuse me. Take a big inhale in. Just let it go. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, let them come down. And then bring your hands to heart center. I'm glad you're here today. As you can see, we're back outside, outdoor yoga on the deck. And once again, you will hear birds and dogs and maybe even some kids. Try to remain mindful and just think of this as nature's music as our background. As our first hip opener, we're going to start in child's pose. So make your way there. In child's pose, you spread your knees wide on the mat, toes are together. Take your hands forward. And today, see if you can get your knees as wide as possible so that we really can work into the hip flexors as we begin our practice. Let your forehead come down to the mat. Maybe even your nose touches. Reach long on the mat. Push your bottom back towards your heels. And let the weight of your hips just sink toward the ground. Now center yourself mentally and physically on your mat. Begin to take long, slow breaths in and out through your nose, sinking into those hip flexors. If this hurts your knees at any point, just move your hands forward and come up a little bit, taking your pressure off the knees. Let's stay here for several long breaths, inhaling to a count of 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhaling to 4, 3, 2, and 1. As you inhale, feel your belly expand and just sink toward the ground, relaxing all those core muscles. As you exhale, pull your navel in towards your spine, squeeze your core together and all that air out of your lungs. Inhaling, your belly flops and relaxes. Exhale, it contracts in, ribs come toward the midline, pushing all the air out. Continue like that, taking 4 more breaths at your own pace. Now come up on your hands just a little bit. Let your left elbow go down. Take your right hand up high to the sky and then weave that elbow underneath your arm and coming down on your right shoulder and on your right temple. Resting your head on the ground. Feel a little pressure in that right shoulder stretching through the outside of the shoulder. Now push yourself up, swing your arm back up, come all the way up on your hand. And then lower your right hand down, come down to your elbow. Take your left hand up high. And swing your left hand through. Weave it under your arm and put a little pressure on your left shoulder. Take deep inhales in and out while you're feeling this stretch. Then push up through your right hand, take your left hand up high, bring it down, and bring your knees closer together, about hip-width distance apart. And we're in a tabletop position. Let's loosen up the outside of our hips now. Take your hips over to the right, swing your bottom back toward the ground, and then take your hips over to the left. Again, going through the middle, almost to a child's pose, and then push your hips to the right. Feel a stretch in the outside of your glute. Look over your left shoulder. Now swing gently back over your heels, pushing for the same length of time into the outside of your left hip flexor. Look over your right shoulder. Keep breathing. Our breath now is going to continue to flow with our movement. In and out through your nose and back to center. Take your right leg back and just rock over your wrist. Shoulders come in front of your wrist as you push your right heel toward the back of your mat. Then lift that leg up. Bring your right knee to your right shoulder. And then shoot it back across and tap it down across your left foot. Look over your shoulder. We're going to do that 3 more times, bringing knee to shoulder and taking it across and tap. Knee to shoulder and across and tap. Knee to shoulder and across and tap. Take it back long behind you. Reach your left hand long. Straighten your spine, flat back, navel pulls into spine. Now lift everything up just a little bit. Lower your left hand, lower your right knee. Push back in your child's pose as you inhale. Exhale as you come back to your tabletop. Take your left foot back behind you. Toes are on the ground. And we're just going to rock back and forth. Shoulders coming in front of your wrist for just a few times. Stretching out in the calf. And then raise that leg up. Left leg's pointed back. And then bring your knee over to your shoulder. Take it across and tap it off the mat to the right. Left knee to left shoulder and across. 2 more. Shoulder and across. And shoulder and across. Take left leg back. Push through your hands. Strong shoulders. Lift your right arm. Lengthen your spine. Lengthen your neck. Lift up. Lower your hand down. Lower your knee down. Tuck your toes and push up to a downward dog. This is a short yoga practice today, so we're going to get right after it with our flow. So pedal your feet right, left, to loosen up your calves. Find that powerful downward dog. You're pushing through all 5 fingers, particularly at the base of your thumb and index finger. Grip the mat. Stretch long through your shoulders so that your ears are between your biceps and push your heels toward the ground. Take a big inhale. Sigh it out as you move your chest gently back towards your thighs. Heels are approaching the ground, but they don't need to touch. And a slight bend in your knees may be very comfortable. Now look between your hands and step to the front of the mat and come into your first forward fold. Grab your elbows, let your head hang, and just sway side to side in your fold. Still loosening up through our backside. Takes a little bit longer if we're not in a hot studio to get our muscles and our joints greased up. Now pause in the middle. Go ahead and take a forward fold with your knees deeply bent. Hands are flat on the ground. See if you can sit a little bit lower. Now take your hands long in front of you. Pull your navel to your spine. Your abdomen is over your thighs. Push through your heels and slowly rise up. Look up. Look at the sky above you if you're lucky enough to be outside. And then take your right hand in front of you and push that left hip over to the side. Weight equally in both feet. Sort of back on your heels, not a ton of weight in your toes. And then see if you can push your left hip a little farther over. Swing back through center, and let's do that to the other direction. Push your right hip to the side. Both hip bones are facing forward, and you can look up at your bicep if that works for your neck. Not only is this hip opening from the side, you're also stretching through your rib cage. So you should feel a deep stretch there. Inhale back to center. Rise up, lean back, take a back bend, and then forward fold. Plant your hands down and step your right foot back behind you in a low lunge. Lower your back knee And rise up into an Anjaneyasana. Bring your hands down to heart center and lean forward. Feeling a deep stretch in the right front thigh. Take a deep breath. Now rise back up and raise your hands up. And let's do that one more time. Coming down, hands to heart center. And bring your hands back up. Cartwheel that right hand down and left hand up. Pop up your back knee so you're back at your low lunge. Take a couple of breaths here. Push through the back heel. Lower your left hand. Bring the right foot to meet the left. Inhale halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Take your hands back behind your hips. Tighten your glutes and push the hip bones forward now. Quads are tightened. Glutes are really strong. Touching the low back. Let your head go back. And slowly rise up. Inhale up high. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands and take your left foot back in your low lunge. And lower your knee. Rise up. Inhale. And bring your hands to heart center in our low lunge. Now move forward, getting a good stretch in the quad and in the front of your hip flexor. Raise your hands up as you come back. And then come back forward, hands to heart center. And then hands back up. Now lower your left hand down, take the right hand up high. Simple twist. Tuck your toes, pull up your back knee, and look up to your right hand. Lower your right hand, bring the left to meet the right. Heel toe your feet to the outside of the mat, coming into a Malasana squat. I'll flip so you can see me here. Toes are pointed off the mat, and you're getting a deep stretch in your hamstrings and certainly in that hip flexor. You can always have a block under you. You can also rise up a little bit if that works for you. Take a couple of breaths here. Again, this is a hip opening exercise, hip opening practice today. Plant your hands down and either step or hop back into a plank. And when you get to that plank, hold it where you are, plank top of a push-up. Your knees can be up or down. Wherever they are, make sure that you have a long, straight spine. Your neck is long and you're looking down. Shoulders are over your wrists. Your glutes are contract, your navel pulls in. Now push back to your downward dog. Take a big inhale here and sigh it out. Now lift your right leg high, bend your knee, and move your heel towards your bottom like a donkey kick, stacking your hips, and let's do little circles in the sky. Again, all this is aimed at loosening up our hips where we carry so much stress in life. Point your toe back, three-leg dog. Pull your knee towards your belly, and then take your foot through, placing it between your hands. Once again, let's rise up in our Anjaneyasana. We'll do the same flow and add on hands to heart center, hands up, left hand down, back foot up, knee up, look up, take a twist. Lower the back heel, lower the right hand. Move the foot in just slightly and rise up into your warrior one. Front knee is bent. Try to get your hip bones relatively pointed forward. Interlace your fingers in a steeple grip. Stretch your hands up and then lean back. Now take your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers and push them down, stretching out the shoulders. Take your right shoulder down towards your knee. Lift up. Hands off of your spine. Let your head hang heavy. Release your hands. Take your right hand down and your left hand high. Then take your left hand down. Both hands are inside that right foot. Bring the left to meet the right. And we're back in our Namaste squat. Woo, you might be feeling it now. Take your right hand down in front of your right knee and right foot and twist up to the left from your squat. Hands back to heart center. Switch sides. And back to heart center. Place both hands down. And either step one leg at a time or hop back to your plank. Hold your plank and find strength there. And then go to your downward dog. Again, take a big inhale. Come up on your toes. Push your heels down as you sigh it out. And let's lift the left leg high. Bend your knee. Stack your hips. And let's make little circles in the air. Pause and straighten your leg in a three-leg dog. Toe pointed up high. Pull your knee in and step it through your hands. And lower the back knee, rising up. Inhale your hands up. As you come forward, bring your hands to heart center. Rise back up. Cartwheel the right hand down, left hand up, and power up that back knee. Lower your left hand down, lower the right heel, and rise up. Warrior one. You guys been here before. Find your warrior one, then stretch up with your steeple grip and take a back bend. Interlace your hands at the base of your spine and push them up. Shoulders up, hands stretching toward the ground, and come into your humble warrior, shoulder to knee. Take a big inhale, let your head hang loose. Breathing in and out, and raise your hands. Lower your left hand down. Reach up, taking a triangle pose, but a deep one here. Your hands on the ground. Deep pinch in your left hip flexor. That's okay as long as you're not having pain. The pinch is all right. Now lower that left hand down. Last time on these squats, bring your foot in, bring your hands to heart center. Take your hand to the left, right arm up, back through center, right hand down in front of the foot, and left hand up, and back to the middle. Both hands down, step or hop, back to your plank, go back to your downward dog. Come forward into plank. Knees up or down, slowly lower yourself all the way to the ground. And when you get there, let's push up into a cobra. Just as deep as you're ready for. Take your neck long, looking in front of the mat. Keep a bend in your elbows, at least a slight one. Come back down. Let's do that again. See if you can come up just a little higher. Think of pushing your hip bones and the top of your thighs into the ground. And that may help lengthen your low back if you have a pinch there. And come back down. Tuck your toes, push your knees, and come up into a knee plank. Now go back to your downward dog. Take your right leg high, pull your knee in, and place it on the ground. As if you're going into a half pigeon. Your knees behind your wrist. Now just roll over that hip and place your foot out in front of you. Inhale your arms up. Right foot is at your left thigh. Twist your body and then lean over toward that left foot. Try to have a flat back here. You may want to push gently on that knee toward the ground, feeling a different kind of stretch in your right hip. Inhale as you lengthen, exhale as you fold. Place both hands down in front of you. Swoop the leg back to your knee. Now tuck the back toe, pick up your foot, and go back to a three-legged dog. Lower your right foot. Take the left leg high. Pull your knee in toward the wrist. Lower the back leg and then swing it around to the corner. Inhale up. Left foot is at the right thigh. Your right foot's at the corner of the mat. Swing your body over that leg and then fold, flexing at the hip. Flat back looking towards your toe. You'll notice one side is looser than the other. Maybe you can go a little deeper on one side or the other. Feel free to bend your knee as much as you need to protect that high hamstring area. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and fold. And release and swing it around. Take your left knee down. Tuck the right toe and push your leg high. Three-leg dog. Left leg in the air and lower it down. Now we wouldn't be complete without doing a full sun salutation, so we're going to flow through our first chaturanga. Tricep push-up. Come forward in your plank. Knees up or down. Bend your elbows a little bit. Pull your chest through into your up dog or cobra. Tuck your toes. Now concentrate on lifting your navel towards your spine and squeezing your glutes as you come up so you get some core work. Then go back to your downward dog. Flow through one or two of those if you'd like, or just wait for us in downward dog. Look between your hands. Come to the top of the mat. Lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Interlace your fingers and push them high. Swing over to your right side. Swing back through the middle. Over to the left. Your palms are facing the sky. Look up. Back to center. Push your hands high. Bring your arms back by your ears and take a back bend. And release. And forward fold. Plant your hands down. Take your right leg back. Bring both hands inside your left foot and move your left toes off the mat slightly. Lower your back heel. And come into a lizard pose. Your elbows can be up or down. Again, working all through the top, our hamstrings, our glutes, our hips, all those muscles that connect in this central place in our body. Bring your hands up, pop the back knee up, and shoot your left foot back. Go back to your downward dog. Look between your hands and step forward to the front of the mat. Lift halfway, hands down, and take the left foot back. Heel toe your foot to the outside of the mat. Lower your knee and come into lizard on the opposite side. Particularly when we're stuck at home, it's easy to be sedentary. Most of our social communication is done seated. So we get tight in our hips. We get tight in our shoulders and neck too. All right, deep loosening up here. Place your hands. Take your foot back to your plank. Then go back to your downward dog. We're going to move down to the ground now for our last few moments. You may flow through a sun salutation or a chaturanga series, as many as you want, and then we're going to meet back in that deep child's pose. And wherever you are, downward dog, we're finishing up a flow. Just bring your knees wide on the mat. Stretch your arms long and come into your child's pose. Take a couple of breaths here to relax. Then push forward and come into a Sphinx with your hands down on the mat, elbows down. Take a back bend here, a little upward back, mid-back. And then if it works for your spine, go ahead and push up to the seal pose. And come down. Take your left arm wide off the mat. We're going to roll over this left shoulder, taking your right foot back behind you. Your left temple comes to the ground. Feel the stretch in the front of your shoulder this time. Now, if you'd like to, reach back and grab your ankle, the right ankle with the right hand, and kick back. Feel a deep stretch in the quad. You can pull the heel in towards your bottom, or you can kick into your hand. Keep breathing. It's important to steady the breath in these deep stretches. And release your foot. Come back to the center. Hands down. Lift up into your Sphinx pose. And then into the seal. And lower down. Take your right arm long and roll over your shoulder on the other side. Bending the left foot behind your bottom. Check the pressure on the inside of your right shoulder. And then if you did it on the other side, give it a try, grabbing the ankle on this side. Helps me to bend both knees to do this. You may have your bottom leg straight or bent. And release. And slowly come back to the middle. Push yourself up. And let's just come into a comfortable seat for our final stretches. Take your hands out in front of you. Bend your knees. And then just roll on your spine back to the ground and give yourself a big hug here. Now lower your feet. Take your arms beside you and push up, pushing hip bones high, tightening your glutes, coming into a bridge pose. Look straight above you. Your head is flat on the ground. Now come up on your tiptoes. See if your hip bones will go just a little higher. And then slowly roll down one vertebra at a time. Let your hands come beside you. One more time. Let's push up into another bridge. Pushing through your heels. Hips high. Put the weight in your right foot. Bend your left knee in. And you can either leave it there or point it toward the sky. Take your left foot down. Weight in the left foot. Bend your knee in first. And then either leave it there or point it up. And take it down. Come up on both tiptoes. One vertebra at a time, as slow as you can. Roll down till your tailbone's touching and then your heels. Take your arms wide off the mat. Let both knees come to the left and then look over your right shoulder. Move your chin toward that shoulder so you're getting a deeper stretch of your neck. And then come back to the middle with your knees and let them fall to the other side. Look over your left shoulder, chin to shoulder. And come back to center. Leave your knees where they are with soles on the ground, and then bring your right knee towards your shoulder and just take a half happy baby. Pulling that knee down. Maybe moving it in circles or side to side. Then take that leg up, point it toward the sky, right heel pushing up. Slowly lower your foot. And then bend the right knee. Pull the left knee in. And come into your happy baby on this side. Taking any movements that feel good to you. Push your heel up. And slowly lower your leg down. Bend the left knee, bringing your feet to meet, soles on the ground. Now take your right ankle across your left knee. This is another really good hip opener. Some of these you can do at the end of the day to relieve stress or move it into our figure four with the right ankle on top of the left knee. Grab behind the left knee and push your elbow into the right. So try a few of these hip openers at the beginning of the day to loosen up, or at the end of the day to relax and let go of the tension you might have built up during the day, particularly in these stressful times. And I think you just saw my dog Sammy walk across. Forgot to tell you that they may be in the video. And if it feels good to you to go side to side in this figure four, that's fine too. Now release your leg. Let both heels go up high, pushing toward the sky. Push your low back into the ground and your palms into the ground. You can lift your head up if you'd like and let those legs come down as slowly as possible and hold them right above the ground at 10 inches for 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Figure four on the other side. Left ankle on top of the right knee. Grabbing behind your knee. If you push your elbow on that left knee and pull in, you'll get a deeper stretch in your left glute. And take any little movements that feel good. And then one more time. Heels high. Push your low back in. Push your palms and elbows into the ground. Slowly lower your feet. Use those core muscles to keep your legs engaged and keep them up. Now hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower everything down. Take a big inhale back as you reach back with your hands and point your toes. Full body stretch. Then bend your knees in, give yourself a hug. And if you'd like to, take a full happy baby and we'll begin to wind down. On happy baby, you ideally are grabbing behind on the sides of your feet. You're pulling your elbows sort of towards your armpits. You can always grab behind your legs or your ankles if that feels better to you. If you want to straighten one leg and then the other, or maybe both, go ahead and take whatever movements you want. And then bring your feet back to the ground. Bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees come to the outside of the mat. You can place your hands on your thighs for a little gentle pressure. Our final hip opener. Supine Baddha Konasana with the knees. Butterfly to the side. So the ones I would suggest if you just need a quick hip opener are child's pose, seated or supine Baddha Konasana, which is what we're doing now, the cobbler's pose, Malasana squat, if you are able to get into that position comfortably, and the figure four pose, which we just did. Take a couple more breaths here. And slowly move into your final resting position. Take your heels to the corners of the mat or toward them. Let your palms come up, hands off the mat. Let your feet relax. Go your legs side to side a little bit, and then let them grow still and heavy. You can close your eyes now if you're comfortable with that. Move your head side to side. Little gentle rolls. Just making sure your neck is nice and loose. And then keep your head in the center of your mat and let it feel heavy, sinking into the earth. Let the ground support your shoulders, your spine, your hips. Take a big inhale, letting your belly rise. And then as you exhale, relax your hips and let them just sink into the ground. Disengage every muscle in your body, scanning from the top of your head down to your toes. If anything still feels tight, take another deep inhale. Imagine breathing into that spot and letting it go as you exhale. And relax. Focus on your breath and meditate on the sounds of nature for the last moment of our practice. And I encourage you to continue to rest in one place if that feels good for you, particularly if you're doing this practice at the end of the day. Stay where you are and enjoy it. Whenever you're ready to come out of your Savasana, just roll on your side. Push up and come into a comfortable seat and bring your hands to heart center. I enjoyed teaching this to you today. The teacher in me honors the teacher in all of you. I hope that you are staying safe and well. And I congratulate you on doing a wonderful thing today to stay safe and well in your mind, in your heart, and your body. Take care. Namaste.